Hey everyone, it's Dyanne here. Thank you so much for tuning in to Decoeasy. Janny and I are so happy that you came by to watch our video. If you want to stay tuned of what we make, then hit the bell button underneath the video and we send you a notification when we upload something new. Are you ready? Let's start decorating. Okay, another new DIY. For this one I'll have two metal rings, a small one and a large one. I have no idea how big or small they are in diameter. And I have also a package of fur. Now what I want to do, first I'm going to put these together, therefore I'll be using a tie rib. And then I'll be putting fur all around the rings. I will use a glue gun to start. I'm going to glue in the kitchen, but of course you can see afterwards how it looks like with the fur upon it. Put them together. I'm going to cut off the excess part of the tie rib. If my scissors want to cooperate. There we have it. Now I just have these hoops attached together. Time to start wrapping it with fur. Look, yeah, I'm sorry, I couldn't film this because I didn't have power access in the kitchen. First of all, this was a big messy thing because I had the complete width of the fur part. I just clipped it in two, so it would be easier for me to wrap around, because otherwise you had it was like this, and now there's only this width, so that was easier for me to work with. First I started here, I just wrapped around, and here in the center I just wrapped around both rings several times. Then I start, when we're working here, around this part here. I can still feel it because there is some glue here. You can only feel it, not see it, luckily, because the fur is super long. Here it was, I was running out of ribbon, so I needed to get myself some more ribbon. Just glued it in, and you can't see even the difference. Only have to fluff it up a little bit doing this. So it looks more like a little bit of a snowman. When I came back to here, just wrapped around several times, and here is the back. Yeah, the back is ugly. You can see where I quit, where I just clipped it. But the front side here, you can't see anything at all. This thing still can move like this. So you can hang it up if you want to. I think that's what I want to do myself too. But I really underestimated how much mess this stuff gives when you start cutting it. Really, I had to vacuum clean myself first before I could continue. And now I still see pieces of fur everywhere. So yeah, I think I'm going to get myself a vacuum cleaner after I am done with doing this. So yeah. That was it. I think I'm going to take the excess fur off with some wet on my hands. I'm just going to pour some water upon my hand and then start rubbing everywhere. They said that it works well also with animal hair when you have it upon your furniture. So this is the base. Now it is time to give this thing, I think, a scarf. For the scarf, I'd like to use this ribbon here. This is a new one. I believe I paid, oh, the price still here, €1.75 for this one. It comes from a garden center, and I love the winter pattern. It is originally from the Christmas department, but I just took it with me because it has iron wired, and that is a really rare thing in the Netherlands. This is what it looks, only printed on one side, so this is a good side. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to make a big bow here, and that symbolizes the scarf. I think I'd like to go for some sort of funky bow, but I'm doing it the easy way, so I need staples. Let me check. I want to have it 40 centimeters wide, or long actually, not wide. I see people on the internet having bow makers and stuff, but I'm just cheating. Let's take two from the same length. Let's see how that looks. Now just round them up like this, and then staple them together like that. A little bit more this way. Here we go. Easy as that. Now, is this the right size? In my opinion, it looks perfect. Now, then this one will be smaller. I think I will do 20 centimeters long, or maybe 50, no, 30 then. And I also want one which is 20 centimeters. Which is right here. Just do the same old trick as we did recently with the big one. And then the smallest one. I hope that will work out just as I have it in mind. Then, there we are. Let me check, this is 1. This is number 2. Just push them in the center like that. And the last one is here. Just rearrange the whole thing. Then this will be the base. Just fluff it a little bit more. Like that, but we need to wrap around the center, so luckily I still have a small part. And just pinch it together, and then because it is wired, hopefully I can tie it up together by wrapping it around each other. It's a little bit too wide. Then we just fold the whole thing in 2. That will also do. Oh, that was dumb. I had to hold it again. Okay, doesn't mind. Just redo the whole part. Okay, there we go again. Pinch it like this. Then fold this one double. Pinch it a little bit better. Just squeeze it together and try to hold it as tight as you can while wrapping this one here around. Now I still have to glue it, but this was the idea. This one isn't centered. Pull it a little bit here and here. And then you have a big bow, which I'm going to glue upon like this. Or, yeah. And then make some fishtails on the bottom, as long as you want to have them. This part of the bow is ready. Now we need to make some fishtails. Let me lay it down. Will be glued like this. I think fishtails around here will be cool. Now, let me just measure how much I think I need. 20 centimeters, maybe 15. Well, let's make it 20. We can always make it shorter. Cut down 2 of these. I always say fishtails. Is that the original name, or do I just need to say the tails of the bow? Okay, let's cut it into the right shape. Fold it together, and then cut towards the end, not that side. I often do that wrong. I really do. After all these years of crafting. Cut towards the outside, and then you have the tails. Do the exact same thing on the other one. I always try to cut with an angle of 90 degrees, but that not always is a success. Okay. Now you can just easily glue these like that. Oh, you can't see it properly. I'm in the way, sorry. And then we have our scarf. Let me just grab my glue gun, and then I will glue it together like this. So first the tails and then the bow itself. Okay, I'm done gluing, and this is what it looks like. Oh, turn the whole thing. It looks super cute in my opinion. Next part is to make the hat for the snowman. I do that out of cardboard. I have a big cardboard part here. I'm just going to cut out a square and a small part and paint it black with just some ordinary black paint. And then I can glue it upon its head. The hat, only thing the hat needs is a little bit of ribbon. So I'm just going to put some upon it like this. And yeah, then I can glue it upon its head. Here is the hat. Looks perfect with the scarf that it snowman wears. Okay, I can feel that we're almost there. The fella is done. Yeah, you can just arrange the fishtails as the way you want to have it. But I think he's missing something, and it is greenery. So I'm going to use this half-plucked branch of greenery, which Jan and I bought, I think for €3 or €2 at the garden center. This is why, because you can easily pull these out. Now, I didn't glue this part here, this ribbon, so I'm just going to tuck the greenery in underneath, which can be done super easily. Like that. If you want to, you can glue it, but if you don't want to, you can just leave it this way. And you can rearrange the whole thing if you want to. And here you see the final result of the snowman made out of rings, fur, cardboard and ribbon. And this is the greenery. Let us know in the comment section what you think of this DIY. We're really looking forward to your opinion. And maybe you have suggestions. Then feel free to write us as well. Easy to make. And yeah, it looks super cute. Time for another DIY. Janny and I went to a thrift shop and there I found this. 2 beautiful wooden trees, but I think they are in desperate need of a makeover. So I'm going to flip these things. This one costed me €2. This one was €1. So for €3 I have these beautiful trees. But as you can see also here, they are quite damaged. The edges are all completely worn. There are scratches here and there. This one also is heavily scratched. Really weird marks. Time to give it a makeover. Now, I want to make these for my winter home, not for Christmas. Yeah, I think they would also look beautiful throughout the year. But I still don't know what I'm going to do. But first of all, I think that I'm going to give them a complete makeover with maybe white paint. And then I think it would be spray paint, but I'm not completely sure. Let me think about what I want. Okay, this is what I found on Pinterest as an inspiration. These colors are really looking good to me, but I want to give them my own twist. This part here, I think I'm going to make it dark, and therefore I think I'm going to make use of the beeswax. And for the top section here, I'll be using simple white paint. Here I have white paint, just from the construction store, and I have some simple tape and a brush. Now first let me tape off the bottom section of the tree. Because we don't want to paint that part white. Oh, still need a little bit here. And I think normal tape will do as well. There we go. Just make sure that the edges are moved sharply. And then we can start painting the top section with white paint. First I need to give the paint a good stir because I didn't do that in quite a time. Okay, I think we're there. Carefully remove the paint from the stir stick with just the brush. Cover the workspace you're working on. Okay, now we're ready to paint this thing. Just going to paint the whole thing white, except from the part that I taped, because this thing really needs a makeover. I'm using really high-end quality paint. Janny has the same paint because we are more than done with the cheaper chalk paint that we buy at the Action, similar to Dollar Tree here in the Netherlands. And that quality is just, yeah, well, gotta paint 6 times over one object or project when you can do this with one single layer. So we decided to spend a little bit more money for good quality paint. And yeah, it really makes the effort to us. But it was quite a search until we found what we were looking for. Because this paint is matte and yeah, just looks amazing. So start painting your tree. You can already see the difference. At least I can. Looks more fresh and white. And the scratches all start disappearing. As I said, maybe I need an extra layer because I don't want the edges to look that scratched anymore. You're going to see that. Now I'm going to continue with the side parts. When I'm done, of course, I will show you how we move on further. I will also start already painting the bigger tree. Let me show you just the difference. This is the painted section and this is the non-painted section. Quite a difference already. Paint is dry completely and I'm going to carefully remove the tape. And as I expected, I indeed have a beautiful and really good line between the painted and the non-painted part. I hope you can see it. What a difference a new layer of fresh paint makes. Now I'm going to paint the bottom part and I do that with the beeswax. Beeswax is simple to use, just make sure that you ventilate your room well enough. I always use the same brush for beeswaxing because it leaves some stains upon your brush and you really don't want to have the same brush for, well, white paint. Again, take some beeswax and just start putting. My battery went dead. I hope that you remember what I said. I just said just brush it out upon your project. Make sure that you ventilate the room. Don't forget to do the side parts as well. You can use as many layers of beeswax if you want. The more layers you put upon it, the darker of course it gets. And I also like to dab because the surface of this wood isn't really smooth. So by dabbing you get into the difficult places and then gently just wipe it away at the end. Now, this might happen, you just put too much beeswax in one place and it gets suddenly really dark, but yeah, to be honest, I don't care about that. Try to see if you can still brush away something, and if not, well, then this is just the way it needs to be, because wood also is a natural product and yeah, it is not even in the same color on every place of the wood. So I'm going to continue until everything is covered with beeswax and then I have to let it dry for at least, I think, 2 hours. And after it is dry, I'm going to wipe the whole project with a clean cloth to wipe off any excess parts of beeswax. And now we see how it turned out. I really like how the trees look like now. The white paint really did something good. Now, I'm not really happy with the difference between the white and the brown part, so I want to decorate it, and I'm going to use this dark red ribbon for it, because I also have dark red in the winter color. And to be honest, I decided not to, how do you call that, distress the white part of the tree, because I think it is super beautiful and it also brings harmony and you know, some sort of calmness to my home. So I'm going to leave it this way. If I want to distress it, I can always do it later. But right now I'm going to take out my glue gun and just wrap some red ribbon here around the bottom part of the tree. Here we are in the kitchen. It is time for me to start gluing. Let me see what is the best side to have on the front. I think this side. Now we make the back out of this. Let's turn this one like so. Okay, I have my ribbon here. And I'm going to put some glue on it with the glue gun. Now carefully press it upon the tree. I'm going to press it as much as I can upon the wood itself. Let me turn this thing around now. I think some glue here would do good as well, just to make sure that it is securely in place. So a little bit of glue in here, some here will do. And I'm going to pull really tight and just press with my finger, because this ribbon is super thick. I won't burn my fingers, but if the ribbon that you are using is thinner, then I suggest, well, using scissors and press it down like that. Okay, let's turn it around again. And I think I just put a little bit of glue here on the edge so I can push it together. And then it is securely in place, just like so. You can just press like this. And then just letting the glue dry a little bit more, let it cool down a little bit, and then I'm just clipping this off. The trees are cooling down, or at least the glue in the trees are cooling down. But I want to make some bows for the trees. Well, let's say that I need 10 diameters in centimeters. Then I'm going to cut it down here. Cut one off well. We'll let that one be, let's say, 15 centimeters, a little bit smaller. Is that even possible? Yeah, that will do. Okay, we start off with the big one. Lay down your ribbon like this. Put a tiny dot of glue on this side here, just a tiny little bit. That will do. And just fold down the other part of your ribbon like this. Hold it there until the glue cooled down. If there's some glue upon your ribbon, that is not a problem. Just wait until it's dry, then let it cool down. Now we take out the bow in the center. Here where it is glued together, then we put another small dot of glue upon that part. That is a bit too big. Put it in the center here. Wrap it around once. tighten it up really well if you want to. Just put together, and then you're ready to cut out the excess part. By doing that, you recreate your own bow. Really easy. Just like so. Now you're ready as well to put it upon the tree. Just put some glue upon the back of the bow. And then you just glue it down. Here is glue. And I'm going to glue it down to the center. Just like so. And there you have a very simple but super cute ribbon. And there they are. I think the makeover worked out super cute. On the smaller tree I made, you can hardly see it, but because the ribbon is quite dark red, I made a smaller ribbon or bow, and on the big one I used a bigger bow. I think they look really cute together, maybe in behind the window or upon the table, wherever you want to put them. And this is the final look of the flip over of the trees. Just let us know what you think of this flip and of this style by writing it down in the comment section. Jenny and I will be happy to see what you wrote to us. Look, here's a close-up of the bow. And here we have a smaller bow. Really easy to make, only with ribbon and glue. Are you in for a new DIY today? Because I want to show you that it's really easy to make for the winter season. Let me first start with these items. Jenny and I went to a thrift shop and we found these candle holders for €2 each. Now, they don't look that beautiful anymore. They are damaged, they look a little bit filthy, and yeah, I think they can use a really nice makeover. So that's what I'm going to do today. There probably was some item glued upon here because I still see a lot of glue here, and this one here is totally damaged on the top. So, here's the price tag, €2. I'm going to remove these because I want to make some decor for the winter season, as I just said, and there we go. Oh, there's also a lot of stickers at the bottom. Remove them too, we don't want stickers. There we go. That looks better. And I want to turn them over into something more high-end. I thought they were made out of wood, but now I feel them, I think they're made out of plastic, but to be honest, I want to give them the high-end wood look because candle holders are super rare to find here for a cheap price. Yeah, this glue is totally stuck. I have to remove this with another method. As I said, candle holders are extremely hard to find here, at least one like these. These are really solid and good looking, and they have a really wooden look, which we appreciate. You can find them in so many metal items or types or looks, but we prefer this look. So let's start crafting. I have an advice for you if you want to remove the sticker. This is how it looks like now. I just used this tiny sponge, a little bit of water, and just gently start scrubbing it. And then this is the result. So, time to move over to the next step. Really easy, I also use them to do the dishes. Well, not this one, this is a crafting one, of course. But these things are so versatile. You can also clean with them, but also remove stickers. Okay, time to give them a more wooden look. Therefore, I take out a brush. It's just a really simple one, soft hairy brush. And I get my beeswax. Really, this stuff is superb. How it looks like from the inside, just brown stuff. It smells really well, so ventilate your room and before you can start working it. Watch out with your clothes, protect your working surface because this thing gets stains and it's really hard to remove them. This stuff is also being used here a lot for the older people in the Netherlands, which often have dark oak furniture in their home. Okay, just take some out, wipe off the excess beeswax upon the jar, and just watch the beeswax do the trick. Look, this is such a difference. People put it, as I said, older people on dark wood furniture as, you know, to feed and keep the wood in a beautiful condition. I can only not find the right word for it right now. I only find the German word, but that's not what I want. To take care of the wood, yeah. It's a caring stuff for the wood. And yeah, as you can see, or not can see, but it soaks up really well into this plastic. Well, at least I still think that is plastic. And because the plastic has a wooden look, it looks even more natural, but with a better color, because this thing is a little bit too gray in my opinion. Jenny and I love the darker look more than we love the gray one. Okay, I'm now going to watch out for this. Here you can see it. Not everything has been wiped out as well as it should be. So take care of that. You have to let this stuff dry for a couple of hours. You can put also the blow dryer upon it if you want to dry it faster, or put it upon the heater. I'm not going to do that because I'm afraid that this stuff will melt. If it was real wood, then it wouldn't be a problem, but I'm not going to try it with this stuff. So just keep continuing until everything is covered with beeswax. I'm not going to do the bottom part because that will stand upon my table, and I don't want to have stains upon my table because that is made out of real wood, and then you can remove the beeswax anymore. One quick shot in between. This one is covered in beeswax, this one isn't. Just look at the color difference. I really like this style more than this one. Unfortunately, there is a lot of glue here on the top, which I can't give another color with the beeswax, so I have to paint around. But that doesn't mind. It still looks awesome, because I'm going to cover it up anyway, with a candle or maybe with anything else. There they are, boldly covered in beeswax. Time to move on to the next step. Next thing I want to do is give it a more cozy look, and I'm going to do that by using this sheet of, well, artificial grass actually. This is the price. It was €5 for a package, and it's often being used in Christmas villages. And yeah, I have these styrofoam cones which perfectly fit in there. I want to cover them up with this stuff. For this part I moved over to the kitchen, and this is why this stuff lets go grass everywhere. So I just moved over here, because also here I have power access here upon the stove to put my glue gun out. What I want to do, cut these into two, and then just simply start rolling these in. I think first I'm going to cover them with glue, and then roll them in, because this sheet is made out of really thin paper, and if necessary I can still put some glue from the glue gun upon it. Just take out your scissors and gently start cutting. I measured, and this should be enough. But there is a little flap underneath here. I'm going to cut that off too. Don't cut in my hand. Remove some excess grass. Simply shaking it off. Put these on top of each other. Now you can just start rolling it in like this until everything is covered, and you can then cut off the excess part of the grass, and this is how the cone should look then. But as I said, first I'm going to put some glue upon it, and for that job I have these cheap glue from Action, and of course a brush, because you need both. This is, I really repeat it every time when I'm filming this glue, this is just a copy of Mod Podge, but then cheap. Oops. Well, doesn't matter. I'm still going to glue it afterwards. And only this thing is 17 times cheaper than real Mod Podge in the Netherlands. I have no idea why. The only thing what you can do with this, which you can do with Mod Podge, is sealing. So if I'm going to seal a project, then I'll be using real Mod Podge, but for the gluing I only use this one, because it does the same. And in my opinion, it dries a little bit faster than the real Mod Podge does. Okay, I think we're there. Oh, here on top. These are from AliExpress or Amazon. I really don't know where the cones came from anymore, but they are so good. Okay, time to put them in. Just take out the part where you want to start. I think that is here. Put your cone in and then simply roll while pressing the grass. So we can't go any further. So this is where I should cut. What I'm going to do now. So I have a straight leftover, which we can reuse for other projects. Yeah, I'm going to seal this one in with some real glue. And the top section is a difficult one. Maybe I can simply tuck it in. Yeah, I think I'm going to tuck it in and then glue this complete part with the glue gun. Okay, there is glue upon the grass. Now carefully going to press it against each other. Be very careful because the glue is hot. And to help me out with this, I use the scissors to press everything together. Sometimes we see people using some sort of gloves, but these aren't for sale here. Now, oops, tuck in the top section as well. And this will be the back either, so you won't see anything. And this side is the front. That looks perfect to me. If you want, you can also tuck in the bottom part, just like this. And then simply cut it off here and glue the whole bottom part as well. There it is, the first cone. Only some spider webs leftovers from the glue. I'm going to move over to the second one. I really like this sort of tree idea. This is how they look. They look so much more high-end to me. And I also like that the cute trees really good, fit really good inside of the candle holders. I didn't glue them because, yeah, with this stuff it might be hard to remove them. So I just left them this way, and I think it looks really cozy and good for the winter season, but it's also really suitable for spring, summer, well actually for every season. And the good thing is that you can still take them off if you want to, and put a candle or something else in it, whatever you want. And here are the flipped candle holders with the, yeah, well, sort of modern trees upon it. Just let us know what you think of this flip. It is really easy, and yeah, it is also quite cheap. But to me it looks super high-end, and that's maybe because of the beeswax upon these candle holders that make them look quite luxurious. So that was it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Janny and I hope you had fun watching our video. If you want to stay tuned on what we make, then subscribe to our channel and also hit the bell button, because then we send you a notification when we upload something new. If you want to tell us something or if you have a suggestion, please don't hesitate, just write it down in the comment section below and Janny and I will be happy to read all your comments. Once again, thank you very much for watching and we hope to see you next time. Bye everyone!